Welcome to New York Got Game.
Welcome back to New York Got Game. Got a very eventful week of basketball ahead of us. The NBA in-season tournament, a.k.a. the NBA Cup, continues with the knockout rounds. The New York Knicks, they have advanced past group play, so their in-season tournament run will continue for at least one more game. But this week, we've got a great show. We always do, but this week's really good because we're going to talk about the Knickerbockers gunning to capture their first ever NBA Cup. And you know the saying, once a Knick, always a Knick. Well, this week, we're going to talk to somebody who was once a Knick. So, let's get it.
The Knicks are heating up.
All right, the New York Knicks, they are off to a pretty solid start this season, but it's always good when you can look back on Knicks history. They say, once a Knick, always a Knick. And today, I have the opportunity to speak with a former Knicks player who made some noise in the Big Apple just a bit over a decade ago. So joining me on the show as our first ever former athlete guest is the former star point guard at the University of North Carolina and also with the Knicks, Raymond Felton joins me now. Ray, what's going on, man?
Man, not much, man. Just out in LA right now, taking care of some business, coaching and stuff. So I got my prep school out here, playing in the tournament, in the grind session. So just working. That's it. Just
out here working. I like to hear that. We're going to get into that, some about what you have been doing before we talk some Knicks hoops. I want to let the fans know what you've been up to because you founded Felton Skills Academy. So tell the people about that. What motivated you to start the academy?
Really just, going around after I retired for like a year and a half and just in limbo of what I wanted to do next. I tried different types of businesses and stuff just to have something to do and just nothing really just excited me. What excites me is just basketball. So I decided to go be around AAU tournaments and looking at kids playing stuff and kids that I knew. And, I just started seeing just a lot of, shout out to, everybody who's coaching and trying to help kids. But there's still a lot of them who's not doing it in the right way. There's a lot of them who's using kids and just doing it for all the wrong reasons. So, I got an opportunity to see a lot of that. So it kind of just motivated me to start up my own program and just, decide to, give back to the game of basketball and get back, to the kids and to the youth. And decided to, train kids on the court and also get into coaching as well. I can't coach everybody, but those who I can coach and train and touch, just try to give them the knowledge that I've gained and that I've had throughout my basketball journey.
Yeah, it's got to feel good to give back to a game that I know you would say is giving you so much. So that has to feel good. But I have to ask you, now that you're a trainer and a coach, what is your training philosophy and how do you incorporate your NBA experience into coaching young players?
My biggest thing that I tell kids, man, what you put into it is what you're going to get out of it. If you come in and, you give me, if you half-ass it, then that's what you're going to get out of it. If you give me 100% and go hard, then, you're going to see the results. I'm not a type of person that's going to make you do anything because if you make a kid do something, then they're not going to get to the highest of their potential because they're not doing it for themselves. I feel like they're doing it just because I'm asking them to do it or telling them to do it. So, that's my biggest advice to any kid or any person who decides to do anything in sports. What you put in is what you get out of it. So my biggest philosophy is training and just give me all you got, even if you can't do the drills, do it the best to your ability. Everybody has their own journey. Might be other kids that's, way more skilled than you are now. But if you keep working, you could be just as skilled, if not better, because we all know it's not about how you start, it's how you finish.
Yeah, that is definitely true. That's good advice for the young hoopers out there, just good life advice in general as well. Ray, I also want to talk to you about some college hoops because next week is the Jimmy V Classic at MSG here in New York. Your alma mater, UNC, they're going to battle the Huskies of UConn. What are your expectations for your North Carolina Tar Heels in this one? And do you think they can return to the level of competing for national championships?
I do, with the young talent that they have and some of the experience that they have, with R.J. Davis and Baycott, having those guys there, those guys that's been in big games and have made it all the way to the championship, unfortunately fell short of it. But having some young guys and having the young point guard Elliott, I love him. He's going to be a very talented kid to me, a kid that's going to have opportunity to play in the NBA as long as he keep working and continue to get better. They got quite a few guys over there that's young and that has a lot. And you got Captain Jack, who committed to come there next year. One of the top players, not the top player in high school, coming into Carolina next year. So the future is bright. But to talk about the UConn game that's coming up, my expectation is for them to get a win. I like what I see with the team right now. They're playing well. They're passing the ball. They're playing good defense. Obviously, each and every team can get better. And I feel like they can get better at some things. But as of right now, I like what I see. UConn is a very good team. It's not going to be easy. They just took a tough loss last night to Kansas. So they're going to be looking to basically, get their wins back. So, it's going to be a tough battle. UConn is a great team, defending champions. So, they're, highly respected program. And it's going to be a good game. But, I still got to go a mile to go.
Oh, yeah, I expected that. I didn't expect any less. I didn't think, I know you're there with the North Carolina blue and white. There's nothing else. They're going to be there. I didn't expect you to say you thought UConn was going to take this. We knew where you were going with this, Ray, for sure. All right, let's go back. Let's take back to your time with the Knicks. Many fans, they're going to remember that 2012-2013 season where the team won 54 games. Looking back at that season with the Knicks, what do you feel were the factors that contributed to the team's success that year? Because that's still a year that's very popular with the fan base. They love that team. So what worked for you guys that year?
You had a team full of just guys who knew the game, veterans. Had a lot of veterans like Jason Kidd, Marcus Camby, Kurt Thomas, Sheed Wallace. Later on, Will Sheed ended up retiring that year. We ended up acquiring Kenyon Martin. Then you add J.R. Smith, who was playing at a high level, 6th man of the year. Tyson Chandler, one of the best defensive centers in the game at that time. Carmelo, scoring champion, one of the best scorers in the game, ever. Then, you had me at the point, alongside with J. Kidd. We kind of, played the 1-2 together. And I think just variety of that team, just everything we had from guys coming off the bench to the starting five. It was, Pablo Prigioni. I don't think a lot of people give a lot of credit for what he did for our team and just his experience and his knowledge and his IQ and the things that he could do was just nothing more of amazing, man. So that team was a lot of fun. We won a lot of games. Unfortunately, some injuries hurt us, in the playoffs. Melo not being healthy, JL not being healthy, Tyson not being healthy. So, that hurt us in that second round versus Indiana. In my opinion, I really didn't think that the Miami Heat wanted to see us, that year, because we beat them 4 out of 1. If they were not 4, we beat them 3 out of 1 out of 4 games that season. So I didn't really think they wanted to see us in the playoffs in that Eastern Conference Finals. But we fell short to something that, we felt like we had a great opportunity to go very far, even possibly even winning it all. But, the rest of it is history. We didn't achieve that goal.
Yeah, it was a tough ending to the Pacers in that second round, but that was a really strong team. You talked about the depth on that team that was so great. I know a lot of fans love that. I even talked to Jason Kidd about that team earlier this year. But I want to ask you this, Raymond, because whenever you talk to former pro hoopers, there's always a lot of talk about the different eras of the NBA basketball. How do you compare the style and competitiveness of the NBA during your time, when you were playing with the Knicks, to the current state of the league right now?
I think when I came in the league and just my current time, we was a lot tougher. These kids now are way more talented than we was. Just watch the game and see the amazing things that they can do with the ball, how athletic they are, the points they can put up. I mean, putting up 40 points is like putting up 20 nowadays. These kids can score the ball at an extremely high level. But I think just the toughness level and just the way we play defense, the way we approach the game is just a little different than the way they do now. You don't really see guys sitting out as much as they do now. We try to play at least 79 out of the 82 games. Guys are playing the whole season just about. And, it's just little things like that that's different. But the skill level, the talent now is just it's amazing, man. It's different. You know, like I said, these kids are scoring the ball at a very high level now, and it's amazing to look at. But the difference, I would say, is just the toughness and the way we approach the game, I think.
Yeah, just different in that way. But the skill level is so high. You know, sometimes we talk to older players. People want to downplay the skill of the NBA right now, but I think the skill is as great as it's ever been. I'm with you on that for sure. I want to get your thoughts here, Raymond, on this current Knicks squad, because based on what you've seen, how would you assess the current New York Knicks in this 2023-2024 season? What strengths and areas for improvement do you also see for this team? Where can they get better?
I mean, it's hard to say, man, because, you know, they've been successful, you know, with the team they have. Unfortunately, they haven't been, you know, able to go as far as they probably, you know, would love to go. But, I mean, it's hard to make any changes. You know, I love what Jalen Brunson is doing. I love with R.J. Barrett and, you know, just Julius Randle. I love the things that those guys are doing, you know, but as we all know, you know, as you keep a core group of guys together for so many years and it's not working or it's not advancing to the next level that you wanted to go, then, you know, maybe you got to start looking to make some changes. And I don't know who those changes may be. I just know Jalen Brunson is not a guy that you want to lose. You know, he's a guy that you definitely want to build around and want to, you know, make some changes around to see, you know, what you can do. But you definitely got to have him as your core, your main guy to build around. You know, I will say that. But outside of that, I love Julius Randle, just him being a dog and the way he plays and the way he approaches the game. And R.J. Barrett, the same thing. You know, those guys play hard. You know, I can always, you know, root and go for guys who give it their all and they play hard. You know, you got guys like Josh Hart, DiVincenzo, you know, those guys, you know, with Jalen, all those guys played at Villanova, who, you know, those guys, you know, really love to play defense. They love to play on both ends. So, you know, when you got guys like that, you give yourself a chance every night to win games in the NBA. Because not everybody wants to play defense. Everybody wants to score the ball and score a lot of points. But if you got a group of guys that's willing to buy in and play defense, you know, you give yourself a chance to win a lot of games.
Yeah, Knicks definitely give themselves a chance to win every night when they step on the floor. I might know the answer to this, Raymond. Are there any players on the current Knicks team? You mentioned a few that you like watching, but is there one that you might particularly enjoy watching? I might think that you might go with the point guard here in Jalen Brunson. Is he that guy for you? Is he that guy for you, and why?
He's definitely that guy, man. You know, he's a guy that I feel like plays the game the right way. He plays hard every night. You know, he does what it takes, you know, to win. You know, some nights he might give you 40. Some nights he might give you, 15 assists. You know, he's going to do whatever it takes to win. You know, and that's what I love about him. He don't care about no individual stuff, even though we do need him to score. You know, we need him to score the ball to win the game. You know, that's 100%. You know, he needs to be aggressive offensively, you know, in order for the Knicks to be successful. But at the same time, I have seen him just take a step back, and when Julius Randle got it going and just, you know, feed him and just run the team and do what you have to do to win. And that's one of the things that I love about him, man. He don't just go out to score points. He don't just go out to just get his. He's really genuinely trying to win every night he steps on the court.
Yeah, Jalen Brunson is always bringing it, and the fans are loving him right now. And I knew you were going to go with the point guard. I knew you had to. You just had to go with the point guard there for sure. I don't know, have you been enjoying this in-season tournament, and what are your thoughts on the Knicks' chances in the knockout round of the in-season tournament? Do you think the team's style and strategy is going to fare well in this knockout round phase?
Well, like I said, man, any team that plays defense, you know, and that, you know, can score the ball as well, too, gives themselves a chance. So I think they got a chance just as well as anybody else, you know, if you ask me. But my opinion on the tournament, I don't really have an opinion either way, whether I like it or I dislike it. I just know that, you know, anytime that you can play in a tournament and you're playing for something and you get guys locked in this early and, you know, playing at a high level and playing towards something, you know, anybody who get a chance to win $500K, you know, you're going to give it all you got, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, and I love the fact that, you know, these guys are taking it serious and trying to, you know, help each other out and get their money, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you're playing for something. So it's been fun to see. It's been fun to watch. I know it's been a lot of people saying a lot of things with guys scoring when they're not supposed to, with the respect of the game. And, but it's a point system thing, what I'm hearing. And, certain amount of points with this certain thing get you in. And I know some coaches and some people don't like it. And I've been hearing a lot of negative stuff that comes from that. But trying to win, man. You're trying to, win that money, trying to win that trophy. So you got to do what you got to do. That's how I look at it. I wouldn't take it as a disrespect. I always take it as, it's a point system thing. And, you may look at the score like, oh, you up 10 points while you shooting this ball at the end. But, we needed to get 11 points. So, we needed to lay this ball up. So is when you normally look at it, you're like, okay, that's a slap in our face. But in this situation, in the tournament, you have to let those things go.
Yeah, point differential matters in the tournament, right? You got to play till the final whistle, final buzzer, whatever you want to call it. You got to play till the end. So it is what it is. I'm with you on that. Last thing for me here, Raymond, when we're looking at this Knicks team, in your opinion, how good can the Knicks be this season, and what do you think is going to define their success? You've harped on defense. Is it going to be that? What do you think will define success for the Knicks this season?
I think both ends is going to define them. Obviously defense, because you got to get stops to win games. I think just overall, just playing together, sharing the ball, moving the ball. You got a lot of guys who can score the basketball, and I think once they buy into that part of playing together, really sharing the ball, not caring about numbers, and not worrying about I got this many points or I got this many rebounds, and just worrying about doing whatever it takes to win. And I think once they get to that point, I think the sky's the limit for this team.
All right, Knicks fans are hoping the sky's the limit. They're excited about this season as it continues on. We'll see how they'll do in the in-season tournament knockout round against the Bucks this week. That is Raymond Felton, great point guard from the University of North Carolina. Also, former Knick, once a Knick, always a Knick. Raymond, I got to thank you for coming on and talking with me here on New York Got Game. Appreciate you, man.
Oh, no problem, man. Thanks for having me anytime.
The Knicks are heating up.
All right, we continue talking about the Knicks on this episode. As last week, the Knicks advanced to the knockout round of the NBA's inaugural in-season tournament. The Knicks, they advanced as a wild card team out of the East, and they will battle the Bucks on Tuesday. So let's break down this matchup. I'm going to do it with New York Post Knicks beat writer. That's Stefan Bondy, who joins me now. Steph, what's going on?
What's up, man? How's it been?
Been pretty good, pretty good. Excited for this Knicks matchup in the in-season tournament, knockout round. A little bit of stake, so it makes it pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting here. So, Steph, with the Knicks making it to the knockout round, what did you like about what you saw from the Knicks in group play where they went 3-1? And then also, what concerned you that you saw from them in group play?
I mean, what I liked is they handled their business against the bad teams. They really handled Charlotte. They really handled Washington like they were supposed to. And they've been doing that all season. Every time they've matched up against a team they should have beat, they've beaten them. That's been their MO so far. And then, they really, if that Jimmy Butler shot goes down, they wouldn't be in the quarterfinals. But, they had some big moments down the stretch there against Miami. They won that game. And if I was to be concerned, it's that the one game they lost in the group play is the team that they're playing next, Milwaukee. So they're going to have to figure out a way to win in the same place that they lost in that first group play game. So it's going to be an interesting matchup.
Definitely going to be an interesting matchup. And when you look at this contest with Milwaukee coming up on Tuesday night, how do you see the Knicks matching up with them in this single elimination game? And what do you think is the key to New York securing a win against the Bucks?
Well, I mean, listen, there's no secret the Bucks are one of the best teams in the NBA. I don't think they've been playing up to their potential yet. But the key is to move the ball for the Knicks offensively. Theoretically, the Bucks can be a great defensive team. I know they lost Drew Holiday and they didn't really get that kind of defensive presence back with Dame Lillard, but I still think they're a great defensive team. They're big down low. I think the Knicks have to move the ball. They have to create themselves open shots and then stop Giannis Antetokounmpo. Stop Dame Lillard in the fourth quarter. Those are challenges that are going to be very difficult. But it's going to be necessary for the Knicks to advance out of that advance to the semifinals, and then that would be in Vegas in the semifinals. So it's really crazy how quickly this is all just coming together. The Knicks don't know. I mean, they're going to Milwaukee. They don't know who they'd be playing after that. They don't know if they're going to Vegas. They don't know if they're going to Boston. They don't know if they're going home. They don't know if they're going to Indianapolis. It's really a crazy, hectic schedule right now. But it's fairly simple if they beat Milwaukee. Beat Milwaukee and go to Vegas.
There you go. That's it right there. Last thing for me, Knicks, as Steph just mentioned, they win on Tuesday, means they would be headed to Vegas. What do you think advancing to the semifinals of the in-season tournament would mean for this Knicks team, both in terms of their development this season and their standing in the league?
It's hard for me to say. I don't know how much prestige is going to be attached to this tournament when it's all said and done. I think it's fun now. I think the fact that the Knicks haven't won it much of anything for the last 20 plus years, and if they were able to ever win this tournament, I don't know if they'd ever hang a banner, but it would be something to celebrate for sure. I came into this tournament skeptical. I didn't think that there'd be much interest in something this early in the season. I didn't know if the players would be motivated to do it, but I've actually been pleasantly surprised. I think it's generated interest in some games that otherwise people wouldn't be paying attention to. For the most part, the NBA season, in terms of a lot of fans, doesn't start till after Christmas. So this has been able to generate a lot of interest in games that, like I said, otherwise wouldn't be there. There's some new gimmicks, the courts and stuff that at least draw some level of interest from people. So I think it's been a good idea, but I can't predict. It's too hard for me to predict right now what a championship would mean for the franchise.
Yeah, I'm not sure we could say that. I hope they don't hang a banner. You can't hang a banner for the NCAA.
I mean, it's tough. I don't know what they're going to do, but they hang banners for division titles in some places. So I think this is bigger than a division title.
I would agree with that. I just, think the banners are. I like the NBA Cup. I think it was a good idea. I was a little bit more bullish on it than you probably were, but I think it's generated interest. I think it's a good thing. I think it's good for teams to be playing some games with stakes if they can make it. We'll see. We'll see how the Knicks celebrate it. But we'll see what happens if they win on Tuesday, and they could advance to Vegas. That means if that happens, Steph will be going to Vegas. If not,
yes,
he might be going someplace else. We'll find all that out.
Who knows? I have no idea either.
You have no idea about your travel plans for this week.
Nope.
But hey, Steph,
my wife ain't happy.
Look, man,
it is what it is.
Yeah, you know what? Because people want to know the set schedules, and Steph doesn't know where he's going.
100%.
The Knicks don't know where he's going. We'll figure it out, though, Steph. We'll figure it out. Thank you for joining me on New York Got Game. Appreciate you, man.
All right, man. Good to talk to you.
All right, that does it for this edition of New York Got Game. Special thanks to my guests, Raymond Felton and Stefan Bondy. And as always, I have to thank the people who make this show happen. Editors Kim Hyland and Catherine Cooper, along with Antonio Oliveras Nicole, producer Lee Insler, and director Brianna Musindashiaka. It's time to bounce. Until next time on New York Got Game.
And thanks for watching New York Got Game. Boom shakalaka.